season start today. I think you got Kansas City playing today.
Yeah, we got Kansas City and Detroit starting it for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I got my fantasy teams ready to go.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you know my names. I know you're gonna be very happy with these names of my two teams.
Okay.
First one is It Takes Two. It takes two.
Yes. Yeah.
It takes two, bro. And the other one is Two a Piece and a Biscuit.
Ooh, yeah. You know I'm rocking with that. Tough, boy. I'm definitely
Two a
rocking
piece
with
and a
that.
biscuit, and it takes two, baby. Let's go. Let's
It
go.
takes two, baby.
That's what we're rocking with this year. Tua, I got him on one of them teams. The other league, somebody drafted him. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I know I was gonna draft Tua. Like, what the hell? So I had to get Geno Smith as my quarterback, hometown guy.
Okay.
Why you looking like that with Geno Smith? He had a good year last year.
Yeah, he had a good year last year, but I got to see what happens after. Because again, I mean, you got somebody that's been in the NFL all this time, and you had a miracle of a season last year. I want to see if you could do it again. You from the crib, I'm rooting for you. You feel me? I ain't one of those that wrote you off, boy. You feel me? I'm one of those that's been rooting for you, my boy. But I just want to see it again, the same way. Tua, looking good last year. They want to see it again. They just want to see him not injured. So we want to wait and see. We're gonna wait and see.
Yeah. So I got Geno Smith. I got who I got as my backup. I got Russell Wilson as the backup to Tua. Hopefully he has a good season. And then I got who was the other quarterback I got? Oh, Deshaun Watson. I'm hoping for a comeback year, baby. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
You had enough massages and shoulder rubs, and all other kind of rubs, And now it's time to focus in. Let's get it. Let's get back to 2021. Deshaun Watson, I think, was the last time we really seen him.
2021. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was balling out that year, so I think he should do the thing.
We seen him a little bit of the second half last year, but nothing to actually be like, okay, he got a whole year worth of work.
Yeah, he actually didn't really look that good in those couple of games, but you got a whole year, learn the system. I know it's the Browns, but you got Njoku, former Kane over there, who should be good. You also got Amari Cooper, hometown kid, over there. So I think they should be okay. And then I got one other Dolphin, Raheem Mostert. You know what's funny? Because when we were having the draft, remember I say I like to get together with dudes for the draft. They were like, man, we can't even call him Mostert no more. We just call him Mo Hurt. I know, right? It was funny though. It was funny though because he do be getting hurt a lot, man. Like Mo Hurt. I was like, damn, he better not get hurt for this team because I need him to rock and roll this year.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. We back in the suicide pool again. Me and wifey, we in the suicide pool. So we do that every year. That's religious. She get all excited for it. That's like her thing now, the suicide. So I'm happy. Like football is officially 100% back now. High school, we're already in week 3 right now, and college football going into week 2. So now it's the NFL, baby.
Good to see. Good to hear.
Yeah. So let's start this thing off. It's the MarcWes Sports Podcast. I'm Marcus Benjamin, chilling with my guy, my boy, Wesley Pierre, aka Westradamus, in the building. And we give you real sports talk from a South Florida perspective. We represent Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County, and most importantly, Canes County. CanesCounty.com for all your news regarding Miami Hurricanes athletics, part of the Rivals Network. Make sure you lock in and subscribe to that. Subscribe to this channel as well. Follow us on social media. Search MarcWes Sports. So my guy, tell me what's good, man. Like what's good in the hood, man.
I mean, everything's good in the hood right now. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's good right now because, of course, we're gonna set it off with the Miami Dolphins. You see the shirt, you see the throwback hat. You know
Yep.
what time it is. We're officially back, and it seems like the arm of the Almighty Tour is ready to silence all of the haters. Yes, baby.
The almighty arm got a whole sleeve now.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. I'm liking it too. After his run-in with Ryan Clark, and we addressed that. I'm just ready to shut everybody else up. You got Justin Herbert that we're gonna be going ahead and facing right now. Somebody that I think that Tua is better than Justin Herbert, but I think Justin Herbert is the prototypical quarterback. But if you really want to go ahead and go against Wes and the arm of the Almighty Tua, you're going against accuracy. You're going against efficiency. The most efficient quarterback in NCAA history. I got to keep reiterating that. Last year, probably the best quarterback rating in the NFL, with my understanding. And for the first 13 weeks, when he was healthy, he was doing his thing, bombs away. People talking about the air raid offense for the University of Miami. No, it's the air raid offense of Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins. I think this is what's going to be this year. I think it's going to be a more even flow, a little bit of run, a little bit of pass, and then we're going to go ahead and set them up for the big play. One thing I gotta say is I'm just loving how the Miami Dolphins has been kind of quiet this off season, making everybody that have suicide pools like yourself don't go with the Dolphins. My dog Marcus, he's going with the Dolphins, but everybody else outside of South Florida or Florida, period, you're probably going with everybody else, and I'm loving that because y'all going to be making me a whole lot of money this season. Gene Guru, yes, we already got our bet as well. And me personally, I just
what bet? Wait, what bet?
Oh, well, we bet $5 on, not literally $5, but $5 from Miami, Florida. You know what that means.
Yeah,
we bet $5 on. He said that the New York Giants quarterback will have a better season, not as far as a team, but a better season than Tua individually. That means better yards, better passer rating, better everything. I'm like, what? I took that running.
So wait, hold on. So Daniel Jones got to have better in all of those categories for you for him to win.
Yes, basically, if
I need to jump in on this bet
before the season start, because the season start on Sunday, and you want to make sure your bet is in before then. And we also bet that the Miami Dolphins going to have a better season than the New York Giants. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Saquon Barkley, they kind of silenced a little bit of the sporadic behavior between the organization and the running back. But I know for him, he's like, look, I'm not getting injured. This is a 1-year deal that they signed with me right now. I'm going to go ahead and collect this money, and I'm going to go ahead and do to cover myself. As far as me carrying that quarterback, it's not happening. Throw me the ball, give me the ball, and I'll make it happen. So for me, and I'm pretty sure yourself, you knew last year that Saquon was the team as far as offensive wise. And for this guy, my friend Guru Gene, it's just more money in my pocket. So we got like $1,000 on the line. I know I'm gonna win it already. And when the Heat come along, we're gonna win some more money. Right now, Marcus is trying to figure out, damn, should I be texting him now or should I be texting him later about this bet? Because I need some of this money too.
I do need it in my life. I need it in my life. So
exactly.
I'm about to jump on this bet with him for real.
Exactly. So while you going ahead and handling that bet with him, I just, my whole Westradamus future can see the future. I think that the Miami Dolphins is going to be a close game against the Chargers. Of course, it's quarterback versus quarterback. They're going to make that the thing. But really, truly, I think is offensive coordinators versus defensive coordinators. Who's going to go ahead and play checkers and who's going to be the one playing chess? I think that Mike McDaniel is the one that's going to be playing chess, because even when he interview you, you're playing chess with him. So for me, when it comes to the actual game, I think that it's going to be a solid run game from our running backs. It's going to be a team of running backs. You're going to see a little bit of passing. You're going to see a little bit of running. And I think that the Miami Dolphins O-line will actually hold up. One negative I got before we actually really chime into it is Teron Armstead. He's injured. And right now he's questionable to even play. He hasn't practiced all week. They're talking about should he even rest. And I'm like, I don't know if I want him to go if he's 100%, because he's probably going to get injured again. You know, people that's injured normally stay injured, like you said. When it came to Mostert, they call him more injured, more what?
More hurt.
More hurt. Yeah. So we don't want that. But again, we're going against one of the best two pass rushers in the game right now. You got the Bosa on one of the Bosa brothers on one side, and you got that guy that came from Chicago. That guy that I think that did he play for Nick Fangio? Because I know Vic Fangio, he actually was coaching in Chicago a while, and I'm pretty sure that defense that what's his name? I forgot his name. I think he was a linebacker. They put him on the D end. He wind up Khalil Mack. It's gonna be Khalil Mack and Bosa, right in D end. That's going to be a problem. We want to make sure that we hold Tua up. Not the first game him getting injured because Teron Armstead is not in the game. And that's another negative thing that we always have a negative cloud on the Miami Dolphins in regards to injuries. We already know that we is top heavy. And you take the head, the body fall, and the head could be Tua, the head could be Teron Armstead. Both of those guys, in regards to winning losses with the Miami Dolphins, they need to be on the field. I got the trust in Tua because he got the judo, and he's doing wax on and wax off all off season. He got Mr. Miyagi and Mike McDaniel showing him the way, and I think that he's gonna do what we've been seeing the first 13 games when he was healthy last year. But Teron Armstead, come on, man. We playing your ass all this bread, man. You can't do me like that, man. You see we wearing the jersey and the hat. We over here trying to go in the damn season like positive, and it is positive, especially when we don't have Noah Igbenogany no more in the backfield. That's always a positive. But man, we know our team is offensively driven in regards to having an efficient, accurate quarterback like the arm of the almighty Tua, but the O-line need to hold up. These last few years, our O-line been trashed, kind of like the University of Miami, which did good season opener with the O-line. I want the Miami Dolphins to look like that. It don't matter if you're a rookie. Miles Goa, yes, you was balling like a big dog. So our right tackle on the Miami Dolphins, you need a ball too, Austin Jackson. You need to do what you need to be doing. You're a first-round pick. Do your thing, ball like a big dog with heavy nuts, and show the Miami Dolphins and the organization you're worth saving for another few years. Now, Teron Armstead, come on, man, back to you, man. If your ass need to go in the hyperbolic chamber like T.O. did to play in the playoffs, that's what you need to do. Sleep in a hyperbolic chamber all day and night so you could get extra oxygen in your ankle, your back. He got a few injuries. I heard he's listed. His back is injured. His ankle is injured. And I think they said knee. But come on, man. I think they did that just to, kind of, have them on the edge of their seat in regards to Bosa and Khalil Mack. But yeah, man, come on, man. I need you to play, man. Last year, I heard he only trained on one time, but he played majority of the games. If you're gonna give me the same shit, then Wes, shut the fuck up. Westradamus, yeah, you don't know what you're seeing right now. The crystal ball is kind of blurry. But me, I need you to play, man. And if we're gonna go ahead and win this game and you're not there, that's perfectly fine. But that just shows that, look, I think we signed you to a 4-year deal. We can easily, figure things out if this backup hold his own against this tandem, this DN tandem in Khalil Mack and Bosa. If they could hold up, that's positives for me. If we lose, it's the first game of the year, which I am not gonna go ahead and put that cloud on because we're gonna win. We speak shit into existence on the MarcWes Sports Podcast. I think we should do good. I think that in regards to Waddle, because Waddle been injured all off season with I think a rib injury. I don't know what it was. Hopefully he's healed and back in full effect. Another thing, Chosen, they went ahead and re-signed him. They signed him on the practice squad.
Saw that.
Yes. So he gets to stay in Miami because he's from Florida. You feel me?
He's from Broward.
Gets to the crib. Yes, Broward County, Dade County, Kings County. Yes, he's from down here, so he's gonna be holding shit down. I'm not too worried about our receivers. I'm not too worried about Tua. I'm not worried about our running backs. We have a plethora of running backs that should be doing their thing. I know we got one that's on injury reserve, but I think he's going to come back anytime soon. I think they're just doing that to kind of set everything up on the roster standpoint for paying and not having to pay certain people right now since they were doing a 53-man roster cut. But yeah, man, that's what I want to see. I want to see the defense do their thing. That's really the big question for me. The question is the defense because I know y'all like, why is it the defense? Like, look, Jalen Ramsey, he's out till like the third half of the third quarter of the season. And X-Man, I know I love you, X-Man. You've been holding it down for the longest, but you know when you was crabbing about that bread, telling them that you're going to hold out unless you pay me, they paid you, like, keep doing your thing, man. I do not need you to not do your thing. And you should be doing your thing because everybody, they're not even worried about you as far as cornerbacks. What Madden, you know, we didn't speak on the Madden ratings, but Madden didn't really even have him rated that great as well. And I'm like, what? This guy got the most interceptions in the league the last 5 years, maybe 6 years, and he's not even considered that. Yeah, I know he's, you know, I'm getting a little older, but he's still hawking down shit. He's still getting interceptions, making serious plays. But for me, like, look, I need to know what's going on with Kahoot. I need to go see what's going on with our first round or second round pick in the corner. And I need to know what's going on with Eli Apple because we know that Noah Igbenogany looked decent, you know, in the offseason when the Vic Fangio defense playing zone. And we do know that Eli Apple, people been taking a bite out of crime when it came to him, and they've been biting that fruit and doing their thing, running amok on him when he was Cincinnati and all them other teams that he done transitioned to. Now he's with the Miami Dolphins. Hopefully that zone defense can help him because if you can help Noah Igbenogany, you definitely can help Eli Apple. And if that zone could go ahead and help Eli Apple, that'll be a great thing. Brandon Jones right now, I heard this week he's been practicing without no setbacks, without no nothing that looks lingering. He looks his normal self right now. We'll just see because, of course, you know, when you're coming off an injury, you could go ahead and look good today, and then your former injury could flare up, and then you don't look the same. So let's see how that goes. But if you're talking about Holla in the backfield, if you're talking about Brandon Jones, if he come back and he's his normal self before the injury, if you're talking about Eli Apple being way better than Noah Igbenogany that wind up helped us win a few games in the end last year, Pittsburgh Steelers close to the end zone, interception, everybody going crazy, people on 560, MarcWes Sports Podcast, everybody talking about Noah Igbenogany in a positive note, definitely can make Eli Apple look good. I'm about to say Cole Misi, taking it back. Like Cole, if he could go ahead and still keep doing his thing from last year, I think is on the up and up, and we definitely can have a positive outcome in regard to the game.
Man, I think you pretty much kind of covered every corner of the Dolphins. But for me, it's like when it comes to game planning against like a Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa, that's where Mike McDaniels just shows his, you know, bravado, you know, because you can scheme around them boys. I mean, you can't expect to stop a Khalil Mack and a Joey Bosa to not put pressure on Tua. Like, you just can't expect that to happen in today's NFL, but you can scheme around it. So I'm expecting McDaniels to come up with a game plan where we have maybe some runs or like some short passes that kind of throws them off balance. So they have a moment's hesitation as far as just peeling their ears back and just rushing at Tua. I'm just mostly worried about Tua's health. Like I want him to be healthy. I want him. Hopefully that jujitsu is helping him. He put on some weight, so he can withstand injuries and hits like that. We'll see, because and then the other thing too is that he has to understand when to get down, bro. Like just get down, slide. Too many times last year he put his body in harm's way where he didn't have to. Yeah. So he just has to. That's a great thing that Patrick Mahomes does. Patrick Mahomes and him. Well, Patrick Mahomes is actually a little bit bigger than he looks. He's over 200 something pounds. I think he's like 6'4". But still, he knows how to get down. He knows how to get on the ground, and that's why, for the most part, he stayed injury free throughout his career. So Tua just needs to learn that. He just needs to learn how to get down, get on the ground, because the franchise is on your back, man. We see what Mike White was doing. We can't give this to Mike White. You know what I'm saying? And if Mike White beat out Skylar Thompson, we can't give this to Skylar Thompson either, because Mike White was just Mike wrong from what I seen in this preseason, man. He just wasn't right at all. So I need Tua to stay healthy, not only for Miami, but for me. I need you to stay healthy for my fantasy team. For when I pick you in Suicide, I'm gonna pick you at least 1 week in Suicide to win. But this is what I want to do with you, bro. Let's go through the whole season, bro, and let's go game by game.
Okay.
To see where we think things are gonna go down every week, and they got the spreads for every game already out. I can't believe that they do have that, but they got the spreads for every game except for the last game, which is against Buffalo, which is interesting how we played Buffalo last game of the season. It's crazy. Like we playing Buffalo, like Buffalo is that team now, like just like the 90s, 90s Dolphins, early 90s Dolphins, where it was the Dolphins and the Bills trying to win the division. Mm-hmm. First game, I already know where you're going. I already know you're going win. Chargers are favored by 3. I think the Dolphins pull it out, though. I think it's going to be close. You know what I'm saying? I think it could be a field goal, a touchdown game, 1-score game. But I think the Dolphins they're underestimated, and I think the Chargers kind of feeling themselves. They did make the playoffs. They did blow a playoff game last year, the game that they should have won in Jacksonville out of nowhere. I literally turned that game off, bro. Like I literally turned that game off, and then I seen an alert on my phone saying, "Oh, this game is close." I was like, "How the hell?" And then they ended up coming back and winning. So I like the Dolphins in this game. What's your score on it?
I say the Dolphins win by 4 points. I don't know exactly the score, but I think it's going to be high powered. That the Justin Herbert, he normally has like 300, 400 yard games. I wouldn't say 400, about 250, 300 normally. All last year, you seen him. They paid him this big ass money. I think he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now after him getting signed.
That's crazy.
Recently. Definitely crazy. So I think it's gonna be like let's say 28-24.
Okay. I was thinking even closer than that. So I was gonna say 31-28. Dolphins win this thing. The next one, this is a tough schedule too. Now that I look at every team on this schedule, it's a tough schedule. This got to be one of the tough schedules in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
The next game we got the Patriots. Dolphins favored by 2. That's a Sunday night game. So
you gonna mud them.
Sunday night. This is at New England. I like the Dolphins, man. I don't believe in the Patriots. They didn't do nothing about that quarterback situation. They just said, okay, we're gonna roll with Mac Jones again.
And they got rid of the
Mac Jones again.
They got rid of the backups. They only got one quarterback on the team. They don't have no backup right now. So I don't know what the hell. Yeah. Bill Belichick, I don't know what the hell his ass doing right now, but hey, keep doing it, man. Figure it out after you play us.
I think Dolphins win this one easily. I give them 2 touchdowns on this one. I feel like it's gonna be a 38-21. Not even 21. I don't think they're gonna score that much. I would say 16 or something like that.
I would say 24-16. Why? Because it's Bill Belichick, man. The defense is gonna be holding shit down for a while. It's gonna be a close game, and then some point in the game, the Miami Dolphins gonna go ahead and pull it out because, like you said, they're basically the same team, same quarterback. I don't have too much negative things to say about the quarterback because when you have a defensive coordinator that turns into an offensive coordinator, what the hell do you think is gonna happen? So can't blame nobody but yourself because we know that Bill Belichick is the general manager and the head coach. So whatever wind up happening negative on Nate, and that's his fault. But it is what it is. Like 16-24. Do our thing on that.
Then the Dolphins come back home for the first time, first home game against the Broncos. Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, who's now the coach over there. Of course, he quarterback Drew Brees and them boys to a Super Bowl back in the day. I think they won that Super Bowl here in Miami too.
Yep.
But yeah, so Dolphins are favored by 3.5 points, meaning that they think that Dolphins are going to win by 4. The Broncos always play us tough for some reason. I think their defense always, shows up. Is Von Miller still on that team?
Nah, he's with the Bills. But he's injured right now too, so he don't even start.
He had 2 teams after that. Like he won Super Bowl with the Rams.
Yep.
Then went to the Bills.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, I think the Dolphins find a way to win this game because they'll be at home, their first home game, and that it's still gonna be hot. It's a 1:00 game. It's September.
Mm-hmm.
I think that heat's gonna get to them.
Yep.
Denver, is a cold weather place, and I think Miami comes out with a victory. I would say maybe about 10 points. So I'm thinking maybe a 27-17 game.
You in my head, I was saying 10 points. I didn't know what was going to be the final score, but I know 10 points. So I'll just go with your score.
All right. And then we go on the road to play the Bills. This is going to be interesting. Buffalo favored by 4 points to win it. I think the advantage here is that it's early. It's probably not going to be snowing. Maybe it could be. It's October 1st is this game, but it's going to be a cool weather game. I would say probably maybe in the 50s or 60s. That's what it usually is around that time. So I think that plays to the Dolphins' favor. I think the Dolphins, nearly beat them last year in the playoffs with the third-string quarterback, Skylar Thompson. So I think the Dolphins really kind of have had their number on them lately because you barely beat us twice. The snow game, the Bills barely beat the Dolphins in that game. And, of course, we beat them down here. That was that infamous game where Tua got hurt, but still played. And, I think the Dolphins pull this out. I think it's a close game, though. And I think they win, like 23-20.
What the fuck? I think I need to go first because I'm like, we're going to win by 3. I think that the Dolphins and the Bills, they're going to be a close game. Obviously, this team now, they're bringing back the rivalry from the Thurman Thomas days when they used to whoop us all the time, find ways to whoop us, but never win the whole thing. That's how I look at the Buffalo Bills. Y'all the same Buffalo Bills as always. You have Thurman Thomas, you have Don Beatty, you have all these different people, and y'all make it to the playoff, make it to the Super Bowl, do all this with Drew Bledsoe, and y'all do nothing. Was it Drew Bledsoe? No, it was not Drew Bledsoe.
No, Jim Kelly.
Yeah, Jim Kelly. Bledsoe was with the Patriots. Jim Kelly? I know I'm throwing dirt on your name, University of Miami, you from the U, but it doesn't matter. Now you're a Buffalo Bills. You feel me? So for me, I know it's going to be a victory, especially since we almost whooped their ass without Tua in the playoffs. That's a playoffs game. And, we were injured. We had a lot of things and questions on the team we barely could score against the Jets. Like like coming into the playoffs backwards, and you being high powered like that and almost losing, especially with the snowstorm that it seemed like it just came at the right time to go against the Miami Dolphins. That kind of shifted the way the game actually played. But still, regardless, I think that y'all got a lot of bullshit that's happening over there in Buffalo. What happened? Stephon Diggs, you don't like the wings? You don't like the quarterback? What's going on? You feel me? I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, like when you have a team that's more like a family, seem like with the Miami Dolphins, and you have a team that it seemed like is more business when it comes to the Buffalo Bills, that can kind of sway the game. Forget all that other stuff that just be happening. I know you have Hamlin. He came back. Oh, and that probably was one of the reasons why they were kind of like off last year later on in the game. You see your brother almost lose his life on the field, something that you rarely see on the NFL. That's something that kind of could change a lot of people. It was devastating. And you seen what happened in a playoff game with the Miami Dolphins, where it was like somebody else on the Dolphins had to get carried out, stretcher, ambulance, the whole 9 yard. And you seen what happened. They canceled the game. So anything like that, seeing that happen to somebody that's close to you, that work out with you, family, know each other. You probably see their kids, and your wife chill with each other, or girlfriends, because I don't know how old these players are, to see something like that happen right in front of you and out of nowhere. That probably was one of the reasons why they did have like setbacks last year later in the season, or it could have just been the Miami Dolphins was just ready to whoop that ass, tap that ass, and beat that ass. That's what I'm going with. You feel me? Forget all the other shit, because we had the same thing happen with us. Tua was injured, and people was talking about Tua too. Like, everywhere, they were talking about Tua, not just the NFL Network, not ESPN, but other platforms, that have nothing to do with sports was talking about Tua. Yeah. So come on, man, think about it. When stuff like that happen, adversity hits, you got to find a way to go ahead and persevere and continue to work to that goal that you guys want to go ahead and have, and that's winning a Super Bowl, or at that particular time winning a actual football game. So for me in this game, the Miami Dolphins is gonna win, and I know, like, man, look at West, man, y'all 4-0. Yeah, that's what you said, Wes. Y'all never lose.
Yeah. It's about to get worse too. To be honest, next game we got the Dolphins and the Giants. This is a tough one for me because the Giants are kind of my number 2 team and the original team I used to follow when I used to live in New York when I was a JIT. But I've been here ever since the 3rd grade, and ever since, well, I actually was a Dolphins fan even before then, to be honest. Which is weird, right? But yeah, because I knew like my people stayed down here. I used to still come down here, even though when I was,
for the beaches.
I was still a Dolphins fan as well as a Giants fan. So it's tough for me to kind of watch this game, but I always try to watch it naturally. The last time they played, I was just like, let me just see what my emotions are telling me. And then halfway through the game, I'm just cheering for the Dolphins. I want them to win so much more, because not only because I've lived here damn near most of my life, but at the same time, they haven't won as much as the Giants. The Giants have won Super Bowls. In my lifetime, I've seen the Giants win 3. So the Dolphins is 0 still. I'm still waiting to see the Dolphins win a championship. So I'm going to be rolling with the Dolphins on this game too. They are favored by 5 points. It's the biggest spread so far. 5 points in this game. So I think the Giants are going to give them a tough game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any standard. The Giants, they're a well-coached team with their new coach Brian Daboll. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Miami pulls it out. I'll say it by a touchdown, 1 score. I'm gonna go 21-14.
Well, I was thinking right now, we going through all these lists right now. Look, the first quarter of the game, first quarter of the season. So I think we should probably just go right now with the first 4 games. We'll stop with this one, the first 5 games, because I think right now is like 17 games right now. So I think we should stop with this one right now with 5 games because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We don't know how the Dolphins going to look. We don't know how the Chargers, Patriots, or the Broncos going to look. Everything that we're saying right now is in regards to last year. We do know that the preseason, people rarely was playing the people that they wanted to play in the game because of injury. Look what happened to Teron Armstead. So I'll keep this as our last one for the season. Of course, we're gonna go back to this throughout the season and give you another 5 games that we think that we're gonna win. But you know me, you know where I'm going. Like, that's gonna be another bet with Gene. You feel me? I already got 2 bets with Gene.
I was already thinking that.
Let's bet the game. And, I'm trying to hit him where it hurts. I'm going to be like, all right, instead of 5 Bs, 250, 275 or something like that. We ain't worried about the spreads or nothing. We going on straight victory or losses. And I think the Miami Dolphins going to go ahead and do their thing. Like I said earlier, you got Saquon Barkley. He's on a 1-year deal from my understanding. And a 1-year deal means what? That you need to worry about next year. And for this,
that means he's gonna ball out.
Huh?
That means he's gonna ball out.
I don't know if he's gonna ball out because I don't know if he still want to be with the Giants after what
but
they.
That's the reason why he gonna ball out. So another team will be we'll pay you that bread.
You're right. But I don't know because there's gonna be a lot of running backs. That's free agents next year. I think you're gonna have Dalvin Cook is gonna be a free agent. I think he signed a 1-year deal with the Jets. You're going to have Saquon Barkley, same thing. You're going to have Jonathan Taylor. He's going to be another running back that's on the loose. Unless they franchise tag these individuals, I think you're going to have a few running backs that you could choose from. So for me, like if you got Saquon, you got Dalvin, and you got Taylor on free agency, it's probably going what you thinking is probably not what you're going to be expecting because they're going to be like, look, you have an injury history. That's Dalvin Cook. That's all 3 running backs. I think even last year Taylor missed like 5 games. So I don't really know how much money they're gonna go ahead and draw, but still, regardless, I think that your team sucked ultimately. Yeah, you got Brian Dable. And yeah, he turned that program around. He turned that team around like Deion Sanders did with Colorado, turning that damn program around, whooping TCU. That's another topic, but yeah, major changes happening nowadays, and it seems like these organizations are going left instead of sticking to their normal habit of picking the typical players or typical coaches or typical coordinators. Look at our coach. Our coach, everybody was not look like a coach. He doesn't talk like a coach. He doesn't move like a coach. But look, he wound up giving us all these wins. So in regards to
speaking to him talking, dog, I can't listen to Buddy, man. Like all he does is just ramble. He just rambles the whole time, and he says after every 2 words.
He's playing chess.
I can't listen to Buddy, man.
He's playing chess, my boy. He's playing chess. Look, think about it. Imagine you're a reporter, CanesKinda.com, Rivals.com, follow them on all platforms. But you know how it is when it comes to being a reporter. Like, y'all going to ask certain questions. And if you know this person's going to always give you like a bullshit answer or something that you ain't want to hear, you don't even want to ask them nothing. You'd rather go ask somebody else something. So how they be putting certain people like they did that quarterback, Miami of Ohio, the fake Miami, what they did to him, the reporter leading him into his misery and getting his ass whooped by the University of Miami. This is the same thing that they be trying to do to the Miami Dolphins, that they be doing to Tua, Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels has it a certain way, but Tua as well. These guys are meticulous in how they actually speak to the public. Trust me, man, that can be a deterrent. You feel me? Because you're like, damn, you're a journalist, and I can't even listen to him. Yes, that's what he want. I'm not going to be a story. You're not going to be able to twist my words. I'm gonna be like, damn, let me go follow one of these players. He's doing what Bill Belichick been doing all these years with the answer. He's doing
Bill
the
Belichick
same
will
thing.
barely talk and barely tell you anything.
He's doing the same thing. One is speaking a
McDaniels
whole lot
forever,
and you don't understand him, and the other one speak less and you like, damn. Both you getting the same result for both. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what but again, people don't like Bill Belichick for how he speak to the media. They can't say that about Mike McDaniels. He's talking. He has a little witty to his comments, but then again, you're not getting no substance from what he's telling you. He's saying the same thing Bill Belichick is saying, just with more words, and that's what happens when you're one of the smartest people in the room. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna get mad at it. Keep doing that on Mike McDaniel, because if it's working for the team and wins and losses, who am I to say anything about how you actually speak to the public? Because the players love it. You feel me? The players love it, and it seems like they love him, and they'll put everything on the line for him, and also the arm of the almighty Tua, because the quarterback and the head coach are like this. You feel me? You got to get one, you got to get the other one. So for me, I think that's what's going to happen in the Giants game. The Giants, we're going to go ahead and do what we normally do. Of course, it's going to be a close game. I really don't know how their roster in New York is looking. But again, we'll definitely cover that when we play them, I think, in week 5. But yeah, man, Miami Dolphins, we're going to go ahead and win this game. Huh?
So we 5-0.
Yeah, we 5-0. Last year we was brought the same thing, wasn't we?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, we was like 4-0, 5-0 last year. Don't get it twisted. Go look at it. You feel me? In the beginning, we were 4-0.
Oh, I know we won the first 3 games for sure.
And then I think it went to 4. You could go back and check.
I got to go back and check for real.
Yes. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to give you the same thing as last year. It seemed like the same thing is happening to the Miami Dolphins right now. We got 2 paid corners. One of the corners is not playing due to injury. Same thing like last year. See what I'm saying? So again, when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, I think it's Groundhog Day, but it's going to be closer to the end of the movie in Groundhog Day when things change. And this is the time it's going to change with the arm of the almighty Tua.
So they went 3-0, and then the 4th game was that Cincinnati Bengals game when Tua got hurt.
Yes, you see? Well, he was hurt before with Buffalo. So again, think about it. You see? This happening all over again. Don't worry about it. It's happening all over again.
Yeah, and we ended up losing 3 straight. Then we won 5 straight.
Injury.
And then we lost 5 straight.
Damn,
it was just nothing but streaks.
Yes. So
started 3-game win streak, 3-game losing streak, 5-game winning streak, and then 5-game losing streak, and then we won against the Jets to make it into the playoffs.
Yes. Inconsistency and injury. When Tua's in the game, when the arm of the almighty Tua is in the game, he gives us hope, and he gives us an accurate, efficient quarterback, the most accurate and efficient quarterback in NCAA history. I don't care what nobody say. Dan Marino came from there. Drew Bledsoe came from there. All the great quarterbacks came from the NCAA. And for Tua to be the one that holds that record, I don't care what the national media is saying. I do not care. He's going to make everybody shut the hell up, and I'm going to be the one gloating for him. Trust me, because he's very humble, and I'm not that humble. So I'm going to make sure people feel
it. I feel you. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about the NFL season. Let's get this thing started and see what happens, man. Big expectations.
Yes.
What's a successful season for you? A playoff win?
Playoff win.
That's what I'm thinking.
Matter of fact, a successful season for me, to play all 17 games. Okay. Then I know I got my quarterback.
We'll see. I hope he does, and I hope we do win a playoff game. If that happens, I'll be happy. We make it to the divisional round, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with that. That's that's the bar. That's where we at. That's just where we at, and that means we got to make the playoffs. We have to make the playoffs. We don't make the playoffs. It's the season's a failure, basically. which
Yeah,
is
but
I'm
also,
glad we had. I'm glad we at this point with the Dolphins where we can say something like that, where we could be like, oh, if we don't make the playoffs, it's a failure. Or if we don't win a playoff game, it's a failure.
yeah. I
So we
mean,
on the
think
up and
about
up.
it. Think about it. How long has it been where you come into the season and you're like, damn, we're gonna make the playoffs, or it don't matter if you're gonna lose a playoff game, but we're gonna make the playoffs. Like for the longest, for the last 15, 20 years, it's like you hope that the team win. You have hope, but 9 out of 10 times your dreams were shattered. And please, Tua, please don't shatter my dreams, man. The ceiling is high. The ceiling is high. And we got your back over here on the MarcWes Sports Podcast. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna go ahead and ask you, man, I seen the Benjamin report. Seen the Benjamin report. The Benjamin report is back, and I'm pretty sure Mark is probably going to go ahead and give you a little something after we speak about the Canes in regards to high school football, because I seen there is a few upsets, in high school football. I also seen that when Central was playing, I think what was that team?
Bishop Gorman.
Yeah, Gorman.
Yeah.
I seen that they kicked out the Euro twins from
Oh
recording.
yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah,
we
man.
don't have to chime in on that too. So before we jump into that, I want to talk about the Canes, and I'm gonna give it to you. You feel me? Because again, like Marcus say, when he need information on the Miami Dolphins and the Heat, he gonna come to me. When I need info on the Canes, and that's canescounty.com, I'm gonna go holler at my dog Marcus. So Marcus, like, set it off, man. Let me know what's going on right now.
First off, let's just talk about the game, man. Let's talk about the 38-3 win over Miami of Ohio. It was an impressive game. And, I'm breaking it down like all kinds of which ways. When we was first watching it, when I say we, just me and everybody else that was in the press box with me, it was like, what's going on with TVD? Like that was kind of the question. Like, why is TVD really hurt? He's got a bandaged finger. He's got like tape around his finger. Is he really 100%? That all of those questions were kind of coming up at first. And I think those questions were kind of answered during the week because the offensive coordinator came out and said that TVD had a great game. He was very efficient. He basically was just giving what the defense gave him. You know what I'm saying? Because the defense was playing off the entire game. They're playing off coverage, and you play Madden. When they playing off coverage, we quick slanting or we drawing or we doing all kinds of stuff that's gonna eat those yards that are like in between like 7 and 8 yards if you're gonna give us that. So that's basically what Tyler was doing. So now hearing that, I feel like he didn't have a bad game. The offensive coordinator also said it was his fault when TVD threw the pick. He said he was kind of getting greedy. He said he was running the ball so much that he was like, you know what, let's just try something deep, just for the simple fact of just trying it. But they were playing off coverage. But at the same time, I think TVD's got to see that guy. He just didn't see Buddy. He didn't see Buddy at all in the picture. He was playing a zone. He was playing in that soft zone, and he just dropped back. He saw the ball. He locked in on Jacoby George the whole time, who was running like a corner route. So I put it on both of them on that one interception, the quarterback and the OC, since the OC took responsibility for it. But overall, I felt like TVD had a decent game. I'd like to see him run a little bit more, just to kind of get some yards. I think he's so focused on going to first read, second read, third read. By the time he wants to get the ball out of his hands, he's really throwing it into an area where he's hoping it doesn't get picked, or the receiver will make a big play. So that's what I got to say about the passing game. Now the running game, though, Wes, you've seen it. The running game is legit. The running game is super legit. It's like, I don't want to say this because people are going to be like, damn, why are you taking it back to those days? But the running backs that you have on this team are very reminiscent of like the early 2000s when you had McGahee, you had Frank Gore, you had Clinton Portis.
Mm-hmm.
You had all of these backs that were capable of getting you 10, 12, 13, 15 yards at any given moment. So I was really impressed with Henry Parrish. Henry Parrish seems like he's taking his game to the next level. He just seems more decisive in his running, and he always usually gets you positive yards. He's not going to give you the big home run, but he gave you a couple of big runs in this game, especially towards the end of that first half.
Yep.
Where if he doesn't have that big run, they don't have another field goal before the end of the half. Really kind of, this really wasn't the game anyway, because that defense really kind of shut them down. I think they was motivated by what Brett Gabbert, their quarterback, said, talking about what the real Miami of Ohio was. So the running game, back to them, I just really think that they are a real strength of this team. Mark Fletcher, the freshman, I think he has a chance to be one of the best running backs to ever play at the University of Miami. AJ Allen, he's really your home run threat. His long run was his just sheer speed getting around that corner. Like a lot of running backs wouldn't be able to get around that edge like that. So I still feel like big things to come from AJ Allen. Don Chaney, he finally looks like Don Chaney. Like he's the back that you thought he was going to be, like this hard bruiser, someone who's going to be running hard, running over people. That's what I saw in high school from him. So we finally going to see that from Don Chaney. And I think the fact that there's all these running backs in the room, it just makes him even more motivated to do something when he gets the rock. So just really overall impressed by the running backs. 0 drops in this game by the wide receivers.
I guess the jug is working.
Yeah, 0 drops by the wide receivers. So that's something that's been plaguing the Hurricanes for years, especially last year. So to see that, definitely a step in the right direction. Now, defensively, they held Miami of Ohio to negative rushing yards in the first half. And then in the second half, they let a lot of the young guys play in the game. So, some of those plays towards the end of the game, I think wouldn't happen if the starters were in the entire time. Linebacking play. Francisco Kiko Mauanoa, he is that deal. He's that deal. And you could tell he's a kid that just loves playing football. He's one of the more efficient linebackers on this in that position group. And then Wesley Bassane had the highest grade when it comes to Pro Football Focus, which is like a metric that we use to kind of measure how players are doing. He had the highest grade of the entire defense and got his first sack of his career in that game. So they hit on all cylinders, and Borregales hit his field goals. He hit all of his touchbacks too. I think we need to focus on that too. And then the new punter, who's a rookie, another Australian punter. He was averaging like 40 yards a punt. So I think they dominated pretty much in every aspect in this game. The only aspect you were like, oh, we didn't really see any long, big passing plays. But like I said, when I started, this, I feel like Tyler Van Dyke was just, he has the ability to change the play now. He didn't have the ability to audible last year. He always had to depend on Josh Gaddis for the play or check to him if he wanted to change a play. This time he's got more freedom to do what he wants. So I think he did right by the plays that he was calling. So fast forward to this week now, man. Texas A&M, it's a big game, man. It's a huge game for a lot of different reasons. You're playing an SEC opponent, so you kind of want to show that, you can play big boy ball with them. Last year, they were in the game the entire game. They had so many chances to kind of win this game. Penalties, drop passes, the muff punt by Tyreek that led to a touchdown. And then towards the end of the game, they actually had a chance to still make it a game. It was only an 8-point game. They could have got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. And then the drop ball by Rashard Smith. It was just a frustrating game overall because you felt like the Hurricanes were a better team than A&M. They just made more mistakes. So this year, I just feel like it's a whole different mentality with this team. I feel like they're just ultra focused. I think that 5-7 season really humbled them. I feel like they understand they have to work for every play, work hard in every practice, and work hard in every game if they want to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they realize that now. I think they'll be motivated because they lost to Texas A&M and they felt like they should have won. Now they're at home. They don't have to do the whole travel, and that stadium was intimidating last year. I actually had a chance to go there, and it
Yep.
was, I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy just the amount of fans, how loud it was. It was just unreal. Now you have your own home crowd cheering you on. Family, friends are going to be there. A lot of hometown kids are on the team, as you know. So this is a real chance for Miami to prove that they are back to being Miami. And Cristobal needs a signature win. This would be definitely a signature win for him if he can pull it off. And I think they will, man. I know people are gonna be like, nah, you're a homer or whatnot, but I just needed to see that first game. I needed to see what this really was against another opponent. And going into that game, I thought they were, if I didn't see Miami play for the last 5 years, then I would have been like, oh, Miami's going to dominate this team. I would have went into that game thinking that. But that's not what I see all the time. They keep it close at times. So that's why I was like, oh, it's going to be like a 27-16 type of game. And then, they did what they were supposed to do against a team that's inferior. Now, this team is pretty much on par with them, especially since last year, Texas A&M went 5-7, just like Miami. Last year, they got rid of their OC. They got a new OC as well, Bobby Petrino, who used to coach at Louisville, Arkansas. He used to coach for the Falcons for a little while. So you got a new offensive scheme. And then they got rid of a lot of kids and brought in some kids, just like Miami did. So these two teams are really similar in their path or their trajectory is concerned. So I give Miami the edge here because they're at home and because it just seems like there's just a different mentality here or when it comes to the Miami Hurricanes, especially when it comes to this O-line. This O-line looked good. TVD was not sacked once in this game. He was pressured once in this game. And the only sack that was given up was when the backup got in, Emory Williams, which is another story in itself. The fact that Emory Williams, the true freshman, is now the backup over Jakari Brown. I mean, that's something like if you've been following us on CanesCounty.com and our message board, we've been on that. We've been, telling you that could be the case. And even here, I've been saying that. I've been saying that Jakari Brown, hasn't been looking good. Emory Williams looks like a freshman, but still looks a little bit better than Jakari Brown. So that was the only sack given up, and I think it was only like a 1-yard loss anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
and he tried to run. So
yeah,
that's why it was a sack.
Yeah, so I think overall that offensive line is so much improved. It's so much improved, and I think a lot of credit needs to go to Matt Lee, the center in the middle, because it's usually like the quarterback of the O-line, and he's calling the shots and calling the assignments or whatnot. Jalen Rivers looks pretty good for a guy who hasn't been playing left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
We need him to step up even more in this game. And then you got Javion Cohen and Nez Cooper. Nez Cooper came out with a crushing block on that play with Mark Fletcher. Looked like a running back or a fullback out there. And Matt Lee too. Matt Lee was out there pulling, for blocks. So this is an athletic offensive line. I'm still concerned about the depth of it. They lose 1-2 guys. I'm gonna be hurt about it. But overall, I feel really good about Miami going into this game. I think the crowd, despite what you're hearing and seeing about this crowd not going to be a sellout or whatever, I I don't think it really matters as long as you got the 50,000 in there. That's really there for the Hurricanes, which are really the true fans. It's gonna be loud enough. It's gonna be a great atmosphere for the Miami Hurricanes. So I think that is going to play a factor, and I think they get their first turnover of the year as well. And so yeah, that's all I got pretty much for the Hurricanes. For more, of course, go to canescounty.com. I'm working on a story now, just talking about how it's not really about revenge. Oh, I got to point this out too.
What's up?
Shamar Stewart. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Shamar Stewart is a player that Miami was, neck and neck with Texas A&M in recruiting. 5-star from Pace down here. He ended up choosing Texas A&M, and they talked to him during the week, and he was like, "Oh, I know they want revenge, but that's not gonna happen." I'm like, why are you adding bullet board? I mean, that's good. It's great. You just added bullet board material for the Miami Hurricanes. He's like, "Oh, but that's not gonna happen." I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna see that for a player that's not even a starter. He's a rotational player on the D line.
I mean, he could have been starting if he was in Miami.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I don't know. I don't think he would actually. With this D line that Miami's got, I don't think he'd start over like a Nigel Lee Kelly or a Akeem Mesidor or something like that. So we'll see. We'll see how it's going down. I just got the visitors list.
Okay.
The official visitors list from. Oh shit! And then Gene responded back with 500 for the bet.
You feel me? I try to tell you, boy. Let's go, man. We gonna be raped, boy. He gonna get raped this year with that money. He's taking that money, everything that he got, boy. If it's the Dolphins, if it's the Canes, if it's the Heat, I wonder if his ass bet hockey too, boy. Like, let me take some of that too, boy. Come on, man. But yeah, man. Yeah, piggybacking off what you were saying, man, I agree with everything that you were saying as far as with the O-line, as far as with the D-line. O-line looking crazy, looking like big dogs with heavy nuts on Francisco Manoa, looking great at the right tackle side. I know he had one penalty, but I would accept that penalty because if he didn't take that penalty, our quarterback would have got hit. It was something like he was trying to pancake him, but it didn't work out the way he wanted. I think he didn't have the leverage, and he just wound up taking that holding call, which was perfectly fine because, again, like what you were saying, if you got TVD supposedly injured with some type of injury, I don't need anything happening against a mediocre team. And, yes, we are the real Miami. Now, in regards to the running backs, hold up. The 4 horsemen, like wrestling, we got the 4 horsemen in the backfield, boy. We got Arn Anderson, Ric Flair. We got everybody back there. Franklin was doing his thing. I'm like, damn. And the funny thing is, not just Franklin.
You mean Fletcher?
I mean, yeah. Fletcher. You got Fletcher. Yeah. You got Don Chaney. You got Parrish. And you got, Allen. Allen was balling, man. From my understanding, he was supposedly like one of the best running backs on, if not the best running back on the actual team. If you're talking about Franklin, we know he's going to eventually
Fletcher.
be the best. I mean, why I keep saying Franklin?
Because Franklin was on the team last year.
Okay. Fletcher is going to be unstoppable, and you can actually see that. I think once he start figuring out the offense, like that, because remember, he just came in the summer. We're not too long from the summer when he didn't have that whole off season like everybody else, but he was balling. The plain fact that all the running backs had 9 carries except Chaney. He had 8. All of them had 9 carries, and all of them was balling out. It's like what it was back in the G when everybody was fighting for their position. Yeah, you may be the number 1 running back right now, but next week you're probably not going to be that if you slack off. And this is the type of competitiveness that we want on the University of Miami, on the D-line, O-line. I mean, the wide receivers was looking great. There was one that was looking crazy. His name started with an H, Horton. You was looking like, why are you on the team? I'm like, come on, man. Of course you're going to fall. Of course you're going to fall. Of course you're going to drop the pass. Of course you not drop the pass, but be close to the pass and can't catch the ball because everybody else.
You froze up a little bit. I agree with you on Horton though. Like he was one of the weakest links, I would say, probably on the receiving front. Rashard Smith, and you kind of want to see more from him as well. I think he had one catch for 0 yards. But on a positive note, you saw Nathaniel Joseph, Ray Joseph, the freshman, get a catch, get his first college football catch. And you saw Riley Williams as well get his first career catch as well. So it was good to see those young guys get out there at the end of the game and just be productive. And which you didn't see was a lot of tight end play at all. You didn't see uh Cam McCormick. He was doing great blocking, but he didn't catch any footballs. Elijah Arroyo didn't dress for this game. Hopefully he will be for this game Saturday against Texas A&M. He, I actually asked Coach Cristobal personally about Arroyo, and he said it's basically a game time decision. There's progress. Cristobal loves to use that word progress, and there is some progress with his rehab, but not sure if he's going to play. Probably that what's disappointing is Jaleel Skinner. The fact that he is not taking the next step apparently in his development. The sophomore 4-star out of IMG Academy. Miami flipped this guy from Bama. So you already know he's legit. And he has yet to really kind of make an impact. He was kind of a no-show during the scrimmage. And it would seem that he would have his opportunities, being that Elijah Arroyo has been, coming back from injury. So that's kind of like the disappointing, I guess, aspect of this team thus far. There weren't any other disappointing aspects, though, to be honest. I mean, Damari Brown, freshman, did get burned a little bit on a play, but that's something that kind of usually happens. I liked what I saw from Jaden Davis. Okay, so you back now.
Yeah, of course. I don't know what's going on right now with this power situation. This brightest day outside. There's no storm. Of course, this want to happen. This is the thing. That's when people are hating, because every time it seems like we're recording, we're talking about the University of Miami, the power go out. You feel me? But okay,
yeah, I mean, I was just talking a little bit about the DBs and just kind of talking about their play. To Corey Couch, he did miss a tackle on one play where he was just kind of over pursuing a little bit. But I think overall, I mean, he was one of the highest graded players when it comes to Pro Football Focus. So he seemed like he has elevated his tackling ability, because I know he had one devastating tackle on a player stopping a first down. Cam had a huge tackle on a he destroyed this guy's life on over on the sideline, and when we asked Cam about that, he was like, "Oh man, yeah, they were playing, they weren't really passing the ball at all, and I just wanted to finally hit somebody." I was like, that's the type of stuff that I like to hear. Cam Kinchins is a total Miami Hurricane, true and true. So it was good to hear that, and just good to see a play like that. Even the press box, they were like, "Ooh," So it's good to see that. But they're going to be tested this week against Texas A&M. Texas A&M, yeah, they played New Mexico, which is garbage ass team. Probably you could say maybe the worst team in college football, and they destroyed them 52-10. But they still look good. They were efficient throwing the ball. They got a dual threat quarterback. Mm-hmm. Texas A&M does, and Connor Weigman. Saw his tape, saw his highlights, and Miami wasn't really tested by Miami of Ohio when it comes to a running quarterback until the end of the game, which is probably something that they should probably did a little bit earlier in the game, because their backup, who played most of the season last year, is a dual threat quarterback. Mm-hmm. So this guy is dual threat. I think last week he had 32 yards rushing. And I think last year he averaged, I think he had maybe 27 as a long, but I think averaged close to around 10 yards a game or something like that.
Okay.
Or carry 10 yards carry. So yeah, that is going to be a factor. So they got to watch out for the running quarterback. Let's see if they fix that issue, and let's see what happens when they're tested vertically, because Miami of Ohio didn't do that. This game they will be tested vertically, and Texas A&M's got one receiver that's 6'6",
Yeah,
which
that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you about the receivers because I know our corners. I'm not sure how tall they is. We are used to having shorter corners, and I don't know how the Damari brothers or how tall they are. I know
yeah,
they're probably like 6 feet, maybe 6'1", but
yeah, they're around
are
that
they?
area. There's no cornerback that's really
But
big
damn,
or
six
tall.
six.
I would
They need
say
to throw James Williams on his ass, man, because
Yeah, I
James
was gonna
Williams about
say
the
James
same damn
Williams is
height.
probably your tallest defensive back. I think Williams is like 6'5", I believe. So yeah, he's really your tallest guy. Cam is not even really that tall. Jadias Richard I think might be 6'2" or 6'3". Corey Couch is not that tall. Neither is Damari Brown. They're hovering around the 6'1", 6'2" range. They're not small. But yeah, they do have one receiver that's 6'6", that balled out last week. But their
And I
other two
see it.
top receivers are not tall though. They're more like speedy, slot type of guys, 5'10", 6 feet, type
Okay.
of guy. So you got really one guy that you really need to be concerned with. Noah Thomas is his name. Evan Stewart was your top receiver for them last year. I mean, last week, and he's around like 5'11" or 6 feet. And then Anais Smith, who played in last year's game, he's around the same height. So those are their top three receivers. But and then they got a running back from Central, Amari Daniels, who's a running back that I've watched for several years, won state championships. He is one of their top running backs, and then they got who many consider the number one running back in the 2023 class last year, Ruben Owens. So and then they got Le'Veon Moss, who is another good running back. So they got a nice stable of running backs themselves. So it's gonna be a great game, man. I think it's gonna come down to the very end. Um, and when it comes to the intangibles being penalties, turnovers, and special teams. Like those are like when it comes to close games, those are the things that will let you know if you lost or won. Special teams, I already told you how I felt about it. Turnovers, I feel like Miami's gonna win the turnover battle, or it's gonna be even. The other part is penalties. Penalties, they didn't do that great last week. They had, I want to say, four false starts. They had a delay a game. They had a holding call, like you said, but not terrible for a game one. Not terrible. So if they can keep that to a minimum, I think they squeak out the win here, man. And the money's been going on Miami, by the way. This game was a 7.5 point. They were a 7.5 point underdog. Now it's down to 4,
Hmm.
which means everybody is putting money on Miami.
Why not?
Yeah. So yeah, shit, I'm with them as well. I might put in a little wager as well. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, as long as the Canes, like you say, not have those penalties, because those penalties did come at critical moments when it was like short yardage with like 3-2, or second and 2, and it wind up being second and like 7 or 8 or something like that. You don't want that, especially when you're a younger O line, as far as with your knowledge with each other, what this guy gonna do next to me. Y'all not really familiar with each other like that. I mean, you got a 6 months together working with each other, majority of these players. So it should be a positive. But again, at the end of the day, we said that last time. As long as they get those penalties and whatever they need out of the way against this garbage team in the fake Miami, then we have nothing to worry about. We can go ahead and have those mistakes, bring them on to Texas A&M, and capitalize on those mistakes that we wind up fixing. So for me, as long as it's wind up being fixed, as long as the four horsemen in the backyard is doing their thing and the O line hold up, open up these gaps for these four horsemen, then we should be perfectly fine. Because like you said, TVD, he got rushed one time. The sack didn't come to him. It came to Emory Williams, and that's because he was trying to make something out of nothing, and he almost got away. So that's a positive. And regardless of the fact, just the plain fact that we can have all these other players, second, third string players playing, that's what we wanted to see. We said we wanted TVD to and the rest of these players, the starters, to handle their thing in the beginning, and then we could see everybody else. And that's exactly what happened. If we could continue doing that with Texas A&M, and we could find a way to kind of put this 6'6" guy in a bubble, everybody gonna know where he at. He's probably gonna be the tallest person on the damn field.
Yeah.
We can do good things. I mean, I like the trash talk that Stewart said. It was not really much on talking trash, but because he praised us as well. He's like, he's friends with a lot of the players on the D line. They still chop it up, but he said what he was supposed to say. Like, I can't really say that was bulletin board material, but if you're like MJ, Michael Jordan, in any sense, any small minuscule piece of bulletin board can be some type of motivation. But again, like with our safety said, Cam Kitchens, like, we don't need no motivation. I know he was talking about Miami of Ohio, the fake Miami, but in regards to now in Texas A&M, we don't need no motivation. We're both teams that was 5-7. We're both trying to get to the next level, and that's the NFL. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a close game. We're going to see what's going on. I'm going to be glued to the TV. I don't matter. It's still going to be kind of hot. I'm kind of mad that it's at 3:30 and not at 12 o'clock, where they could get when Miami's extra hot. That's the hottest time in the day when you come to Miami at 12 o'clock. Yeah. I wanted them to play in that, but it's all good. I want to beat them, and I would just want to shut everybody else the way Deion Sanders was shutting everybody else, and he was holding his receipts about all these people in the media that was talking trash and saying, oh, this, that, and the other, we're going to lose, we're going to do this, that, and the other. I mean, we got Coach Cristobal. He's not Deion, but he's doing the same exact thing. He's doing the same thing, and he's just doing it at a below the radar level, and that's how we want it. You already know. Everybody know they do not like Miami because of the beaches, the women, and the weather. Of course, we got to throw that in, and this is going to be another reason why they're not going to like us, because again, we have the Miami Heat about to go ahead and possibly get Damian Lillard. We got Messi over here doing his thing, causing a mess in the MLB. And if the Canes could go ahead and do their thing, like what they've been showing us last week, and continue on, man, I don't see nothing but positive things for the University of Miami and Mario Cristobal. So for this game, what's your score?
I feel like this game can go like either way as far as like total score. I feel like it could be a high scoring game or it could be a low scoring game. It could be a medium scoring game. It's really no telling, because both offenses probably can score at a rapid pace, and both offenses might get shut down by the defense. So I'm gonna say it's more somewhere in the middle. So I'm gonna say 30-27.
Okay, 30-27, field goal. If it's a field goal, then regardless, I know you're gonna do your thing, and we're gonna win. But
he's motivated too, because he missed 2 field goals in the last matchup against Texas A&M.
More motivation. Keep watching that thing on repeat. Keep watching it on repeat.
And he told us that he could hit a 70-yarder too. He told us that. Yeah.
Yo,
he told us that he hit a 70-yarder.
The luck is already on his side, because the field goal last week had hit the field goal, and it still went in. Normally when you got somebody that's kicking the field goal and it hit the upright, it normally goes out and it went in. So that's a perfect thing. But yeah, my score for the game, I would say 22-28. I know 22 is an odd number. You're like, how do you get that number? But I'm just saying 21-22 to 28. I
Okay,
think that
I like it.
the Canes gonna hold it down. I think we got a lot more to prove because regardless, we both got the 5-7 record. It seemed like Miami still get more hell in the media. I mean, they're giving Jimbo and his squad a lot more leeway. Like it's like you got in trouble, and I think that the Miami the Canes are gonna go ahead and be a little bit more motivated to shut everybody up. Again,
Yeah.
Borregales with the field goals that he missed out on last year, and I think just Stewart, that little bulletin board on material, it should have been somebody else that said something. Again, I don't think it was too much bulletin board material because he was praising us as well. But again, I think anything is a positive thing, and we'll see what goes on. 22 to 28,
All
Canes
right.
win this and shut everybody up.
All right. What else is good, man? Well, before let me talk about my dog Messi a little bit. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just so I can talk about it. I mean, he's still doing his thing. I mean, Inter Miami still has a chance to make the playoffs, which is crazy. It would be like a crazy run to go from worst to the playoffs. They pretty
Mm-hmm.
much have to win a majority of all their games to make that happen. They went to LAFC, bruh, which is the champion of last year. Went to
Mm-hmm.
their house and gave them the business. Gave them the business, man.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up winning 3-1 in that game. Bullshit ass goal at the end, but they were up 3-0. When a soccer game's up 3-0, it's pretty much it's over, especially if it's in the last minutes of the game. But the way that they just looked, though, man, they at first they had to kind of weather the storm because LAFC was coming at them, and their goalie is starting to be like an all-world goalie. Like now he's being called up from maybe the USA national team.
Oh,
I don't know. It's just like I guess when you're playing with greatness, you feel like you got to be great, and that's what
yes.
this goalie has been lately. He's just been really on point, making all kinds of saves, and just the goals were just pretty, man. It was just pretty goals. They're in transition, like if I could uh, make it like a simile to football or basketball, it was just like a perfect pass, a perfect like pass across the middle that goes for a touchdown, or if it's a fast break that's basically cross court for like for an alley oop. That's basically what you see out there. So it's really fun to watch. Um, they're going through an international break right now, so you won't see Messi or for the next game, I think, because he'll be playing for his country. But still, even without him, I feel like this team kind of knows how to win now, and they just know how to get it done. So I think overall they just continue to impress, and it's continued to be an unprecedented type of run for Inter Miami. So hopefully they can keep it going and keep it messy in
Yeah.
the MLS.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like you said, man, he been balling, man. Been balling since he's been here. I think they still undefeated.
Yeah, they're still undefeated.
Yeah, they're still undefeated. Hopefully, when he do play for his national team and he's not playing for Inter Miami, that we hold it down. Because that would give them more of a boost of confidence. Where I think Messi's the leader. I mean, I don't, I
Yeah,
know
obviously.
obviously he's the leader. I
Yeah,
know he's been there for not even a year yet, only like a few months,
he's
but he's
barely
the
been there
clear
for 3 months.
leader. He's the clear cut leader, and I think if your leader, has a situation where he has to tend to something personal, it's personal because it's your international team, and you got to hold shit down. That you hold shit down at the crib, man. Hold shit down at the crib. Let him know, like, damn, I ain't just playing with some wishy washy players. I'm playing with some people that can hold it down as well. I didn't sign to Miami just because I got one of the best deals in history in
Yeah,
soccer. But I'm here because we got a whole bunch of players that I feel is have some potential or that are young and people don't know nothing about, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what they really can be if you add me to that piece, and that's exactly
Facts.
in the MLB. I don't know what the hell going on. Of course, this is what happens when we're talking, but I'm definitely gonna go ahead and check up on that in a second after we close out this podcast. But did you see LeBron James? LeBron James seemed like he want to go and play for the Saudis, boy. I hear I hear they're trying to offer him $1 billion to play for 2 seasons.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. That would be crazy.
He should.
Yo, these Saudis are really trying to take. Oh, you talking about he should?
Hell yeah,
he should.
Man.
He should for real. He should.
He's in the end of his career, basically. Let's go ahead and play for them after this season. If you play for them, I mean, he already was kind of putting out retirement last season at the end of the season. Me and you was like, nah, that's bullshit. He's gonna play at least one more season. Okay, so play one more season. Let's see how this goes. I would love to play, huh?
He gonna play 2 more seasons because he want to play with Lil Bronny.
Bronny after he collapsed. I don't know if that's gonna happen, man. To be honest with you, I mean, like, his career is probably over. They're saying that it's a chance that he could go ahead and may come back, but they're not giving him no 100%. So for me, I'm like, his career is probably over, to be honest with you. It's the same thing right now with like kind of Jamie Foxx, where there's some notion that he was cloned as well, you know, after he suffered some type of cardio injury, and you know, I don't know exactly what it was. Well, I kind of do, but we could speak on that off air. But again, when I see him, I seen I seen supposedly the clone of Jamie, and I know you know Jamie. He got that tattoo on his head. That other Jamie Foxx that I seen at a local place that I don't even think that he would be there. You know, he had no tattoo on his head, so I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. Again, people could create things on social media or on any platform. So I can't really say if it was him, if it was not him, but I did notice that he was lighter. I did notice he didn't have the tattoo. I did notice that he was out of place. He was somewhere that he normally shouldn't be. No bodyguards around. Like, we're talking about one of the best actors to play. Like, you know, I put him up there with the Denzels that he can play anybody. You know, once I seen him in Ray, like, you already knew what time it was. Like, and he was supposedly supposed to be playing Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson said he's not going to be playing him no more after he's working out, after he's doing everything to be Mike Tyson. And after he supposedly made his recovery, Mike Tyson and say he's back to being the role of Mike Tyson in his biopic. So for me, Mike Tyson not coming out and saying that, oh, he's back. For me, seeing what I'm seeing, I don't know what to actually think right now. But as far as with LeBron James, I do think that he should take it. I don't think that he's going to play 2 years. If he do play 2 years, you know, that's kind of pushing it. He already broke the record. I think he's going to go ahead and try to see if he can win one. I wouldn't mind whooping LeBron James in the playoffs, in the finals this year when Damian Lillard do arrive in Miami-Dade County. But I think that, you know, for LeBron, that'll be a good thing. You know, you're late in your career. You already did what you need to do. Let's see if you could get one more ring. And if you can't, then go ahead and get $1 billion from the Saudis. Why not? You still gonna be better than anybody that goes over there and plays for them, or anybody that's already playing for them. So that's another thing. But yeah, man, LeBron James may go to the Saudis like Neymar did. You know, I mean, the money is when the money's good, the money's good. What?
And Ronaldo did the same thing.
He did?
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, he's playing over there in Saudi Arabia. He was the first one really to do it.
God. Yeah. Thank God Messi came here, though. You feel me? And then
they was trying to get him too.
Oh, no. I don't need that. I don't need that. But yeah, man, that's what I got for now. I know it's a short week. I mean, we still got a few other things on the last podcast that need to be put out. But we'll just keep it simple. We'll keep it as the Canes, the Dolphins, and what we just discussed as far as what Jamie, we not knowing what's going on with that situation, and LeBron James possibly going and playing with the Saudis. So I would ask you, to give, everybody a little bit of the Benjamin report, because the Benjamin report is back in full effect. Marcus Benjamin did give us a first version of the Benjamin report being back after the Canes humiliated the fake Miami, and we got that on Canes County. We do have that on the MarcWes Sports Podcast. But yeah, man, kind of give me a little something with high school football, because like I said, the Euro twins, you feel me, couldn't record. I'm like, what the hell is going on? These guys are for 305 Sports. Everybody know what it is. If you're following sports, you're following them, and then you're following Canes County. They're part of rivals. What the hell is going on, and what was the problem in that situation?
Yeah, Dade County is on some other shit, really. I mean, to be honest, man, like they have always been kind of weird when it comes to media covering their games especially down at Travis Powell Stadium. For some reason, it's like it's always an issue. It's always like it's Fort Knox for the media to get in to cover their games. And this year, they stepped it up even higher. Talk about they don't want anybody making money off of their kids, but at the same time, they are trying to make money on their own and start their own streaming service, which has not even started yet. We're 3 games in and you don't have any type of platform, yet you're trying to push the media out. So that's kind of been the case. Like before the start of the season, every media person, like we all know each other, obviously, and we were just like, yo, you see what Dade County is doing? Like, we can't cover these games. I mean, Chaminade is going to play Central this year, which is supposed to be the game of the year, basically. And that's in a couple of weeks. And now that's in jeopardy, like, for us to, like, cover it, which is crazy because could be like a nationally televised game. You got Miami Central and you got Chaminade, who's got bunch of players. They got 2 Miami commits on the team right now with JoJo Trader and Zaquan Patterson, trying to get JJ as well. And then you got a whole bunch of other players that are committed to other places on both teams. So what happened this weekend was even more bizarre because this game, Miami Central went to Vegas to play Bishop Gorman. Bishop Gorman, they produced great players over the years. Tate Martell, remember Tate Martell? He came from Bishop Gorman. Brevin Jordan. And then right now, one of the commits, the tight end, Elijah Lofton, committed to Miami, plays for Bishop Gorman. So they're a powerhouse team, and they are top 5 in the country right now. So the Euro twins, I don't know if you know that, but they actually go to school at Arizona State University.
Yeah, told me.
So they already told me, they were like, yo, we're going to be at the game. We're going to go out there. Let me know what you need. I was like, perfect. Make sure you get an interview with Elijah Lofton, and get whatever clips you can of anybody, of LaWayne McCoy, who's committed to Florida State. Miami still talking to Miami commit Vincent Shavers, the linebacker, is committed to Miami, so he reaches out to me via text and was like, yo, they tripping out here. And I was like, why? And he was like, yo, there's this dude. Do you know this dude? He sends me the picture. And he was like, yeah, they're trying to kick us out. We got credentials.
I see.
And they're trying to kick us out. And then they said that they had to go into the stands, and Buddy followed them to the stands.
Yes. And mean mugged them.
Followed them to the stands, and then like just to make sure they wasn't filming stuff, which is it's a really crazy and ridiculous situation because what we do helps out a lot of kids. Part of the reason why I got into high school or covering high school football was not only just because I love football or whatnot, is just the fact that I get to help, a kid out of a situation and get a scholarship to any school. It could be a small school, but at least, because of the article I wrote or because of the video I posted on social media, some coach is like, hey, I need a running back, or hey, I need a cornerback, and that's a lot of reasons why we do what we do. Yeah, we do it, of course, to build our own brand as well, but that is part of it. That is part of this business, and you basically are taking that away from us, and you're taking that situation, that opportunity for these kids to really kind of, find a way out. Because yeah, we there to cover the superstars as well, but all of a sudden a kid who's not being recruited makes a play in this game, all of a sudden he's the star, and he's making headlines. So it's a really, really odd situation. Miami Central's playing Booker T this week, which Booker T is actually has a really good squad this year. I would love to go to that game this Friday, but with everything that's going on right now, I don't think that's going to be a go. So I'm going to be at St. Thomas Coco, which should be a good game as well. Chaminade is playing a nationally ranked team from New Jersey. So all the media is going to probably be at those two games.
Okay.
And not at Miami Central and Booker T, which is a damn shame. Norland has a really great team this year as well. They play at that stadium. That's their home stadium. So gonna miss out, probably maybe miss out on those games. It's just a terrible, terrible situation. Everybody in the media is up in arms, and to be honest, it's our own people too, man. It's our own people that's really doing this and just really being greedy and not really seeing the big picture and everything, and the big picture and all of this. And even for me and people like me and Rivals and all these other, platforms like myself, we are focused on the best players. We're not really trying to stream the whole game or anything like that. Like, I think that's what they're afraid of like people live streaming the entire game. That's not something we do. We're following certain players. We are looking for players that are standing out, so we can, up their rating or add their videos to their profile or whatever. That's what we do. It's really promoting the kids, the good ones, and specifically for me, the ones that are involved with the Miami Hurricanes. So it's just a sad situation all around. I think they're really trying to stop people who are just video people, which I think 305 Sports, even though they have their own website, um, they're considered a social media thing, and it's not like they're making money. They may be getting a little money, maybe just from monetizing the amount of followers that they got on Instagram, but it's not a lot. It's not like something that can pay bills or anything like that.
Exactly.
So for them to like shut people out because they're taking videos of kids or the game, it's just ridiculous, especially since they don't have their own service. Like that, like if you were saying like, okay, well, we got our own streaming service, that's why we're not going to allow you to film. But you don't have it. You don't even have it up. So you're really just shutting people out for no reason. So there's a hashtag going on called Freedom Media. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, there's certain platforms that are kind of documenting this whole thing. And then there was a dude from the West Coast who was, basically does what we do, and they got on one of our colleagues' platforms and was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. I don't understand. Like, all I do is promote the kids, and I send their videos directly to coaches so they can get scholarships." And I was kicked off of the field by somebody from Dade County schools on the West Coast. It was just
exactly. You're not even in Dade County, so you don't even have no jurisdiction over here. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
I seen they kicked them off the central side, and I think the activities director from Gorman said like, no, he has no authority, and they let them record on Gorman's side. You know, so again, just a plain fact, like you saying, it's happening from people from the crib. What are we doing? Like, yo, like we're having your nieces and your nephews better themselves right now behind the access that we have off our platforms. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it's just a money grab. They see everybody making money, and they're not making money. You got the NIL now, whereas before, players wasn't making any money. Well, I don't think high school is making any money, are they?
High schools aren't making any money.
Okay, but as far as with the transport port portal, I still think people are making a little money on the slide though. But that's that's not.
Yeah, they probably are. And then other states, some states do have NIL for high schoolers. Florida just doesn't yet.
Yeah. That's the key
Yeah.
word. Yeah. So hopefully things change and hopefully y'all free the media because we do have Marcus Benjamin over here for Rivals.com, KingsCounty.com, MarcWes Sports Podcast, and we do have the Euro Twins that they've been holding shit down. I mean, I know I normally go to 305 Sports for a lot of things and updates,
Yeah.
So free the media and whoever it is, I seen him. He got a long beard, grayish beard. Whoever you is, like, yo, like look at yourself in the mirror, man, and tell yourself, are you really doing yourself a favor by now gonna have a lot of hate from not just the media, but from the people
General
that
public.
follows that media platform. So
Right.
we'll see how that works,
Yeah, man. We'll see. If it don't get resolved, then I'm just gonna be reporting in Broward, which is fine with me because they still got a bunch of great teams in Broward. Just teams like Miami Central, teams like Booker T, and teams like Norland are gonna be hurting. And like I said, those are three really good teams this year. And so those are the teams that are going to suffer the most. And Miami Northwestern, whose team is not that great this year, but not as great as those three teams, but they'll be hurting too. So it's really those three teams that are not going to get the exposure that they usually get.
Yeah. Well, anything else?
No, that's going to wrap it up for me.
All right. So this is going to conclude this episode of the MarcWes Sports Podcast. Hopefully when we do record again or have a live video, we're 2-0 and 1-0.
yeah, exactly. 2-0 and 1-0, baby. Let's go. Let's go Dolphins.
Right.
Let's go Canes. Let's go into Miami. Let's make it happen.
All right. To the next episode. Peace.
All right, bro.
All right, kid.